YouTube. This is Renee. Thank you for listening. So, I wanted to cover a story today that broke last week. And I found it interesting, and I just wanted to point out some things that stuck out to me that other people may or may not have talked about. But in case you've been living under a rock, there was a valedictorian in Louisiana who was actually denied the right to march with his class and actually address his class. So he was basically forced to sit out his own graduation. Now, this happened to Andrew Jones, who was 18. Like I said, he was a valedictorian at Amite High School in Amite City, Louisiana. So, in addition to being a 4.0 student, he was also an excellent athlete, according to the article. So, according to school policy, they have a dress code that specifies no facial hair. However, it is important to note that Jones was allowed to keep his goatee throughout the school year. I mean, it was never enforced. And I'm going to put a picture of him in the video so you can see. But the dress code also says something about neat and groomed, but he looks neat and groomed to me. I actually, even if I was a school superintendent or a school administrator, I would not have been such an ass towards him. I would have let him march. After all, he earned it, and he was the valedictorian, so of course he earned it. But like I said, the superintendent, whose name is Mark Clove, claims that Jones and other male students were warned about their facial hair during the school year. Now, the issue I have with that is, as the school administrators, why didn't they enforce it during the school year? The other thing I really take issue with is, it seems like schools now are more concerned about children's hair as opposed to what the hell they're actually supposed to be learning. I mean, if you've been paying attention, you see even little black girls who choose to wear their hair natural are now like being attacked by their schools or teachers, where either they're trying to send them home or either they're trying to say that their hair needs to be neat and managed. And how is the hair that grows out of our head not neat and managed? Not only that, the function of school and the function of educators is to what? Teach and educate. Worry less about my hair and more about what the hell I'm supposed to be learning. And of course, these schools claim, oh, well, natural hair and beards cause, distractions. And I disagree. I don't think that's true. I mean, think about it. When you're in college and even high school, like most high schools, people wear all sorts of different hair. Now, if the children were dyeing their hair like purple and pink and, all of these fancy colors, that I probably could buy into it being a distraction. But how the hair grows naturally out of your head in its curliest state, I don't buy that. That's a bunch of bullshit. And I'm going to need these educators to do just that. Educate. Worry less about the child's hair and how it grows and more about what they should be learning. Worry about running the school properly. Worry about running the school efficiently. Worry about using tax dollars efficiently. Worry about that. As long as the student is not in any physical pain, is not being bullied, is not coming to school disheveled or, having body odors or any sort of like mental issues, get over it. Get over it. And I'm saying this as someone who has worked with children and basically people from all over. Get over it. Let it go. Worry about educating the children. That's what you're there for. So, back to the article. It's important to note that Jones was actually a father. He's a father, and he managed to beat a hell of a lot of odds. I mean, how hard is it to have a child in high school, and how hard is it to make it out of high school, while tending to your child? Now, I'm not sure if the child stayed with him or it's a joint custody situation. It doesn't really matter to me. I think it's a hell of an accomplishment to have a child in high school and make it out of high school and make it out of high school with honors. That's pretty badass. So he also earned a scholarship to Southeastern Louisiana University. And to that I say kudos to him. But once again, if it was such a big issue, the school should have been enforcing this from day one, not wait till graduation to decide, oh, now we want to enforce dress code. And my other question is, I noticed that when he was, the athletics that he was involved in included, it included track, basketball, and football. So it wasn't a problem when he was running down the track for y'all, was it? It wasn't a problem when he was on the football field, was it? His beard wasn't in the way when he was throwing basketball in the hoop, was it? But now that it comes time for him to get his recognition and stand in front of his class as a high-achieving student and as a leader, now it's a problem? And to that I say, get the fuck out of here with the bullshit. And yes, I said it like I meant it. If your ears are sensitive, then you have other issues. And if this story doesn't piss you off, I don't know what else, I don't know what your problem is, but Black children should not be singled out for how they choose to wear their hair. Now, you will see in the picture that Jones also has locks, which, like I said, they look really nice on him. In addition to his beard, it suits him. And they are not, his style of hair and his beard is not distracting. He looks like any guy that I would see, walking down the street in Atlanta or in any mall near Atlanta. There is nothing that's distracting about his looks. So, once again, if you are a teacher or a school administrator, worry less about how our children decide to wear their hair and worry more about what the hell they're learning in the classroom. And if you can't do that, then you don't need to be in the classroom. Real talk, you don't. Because your focus is completely on the wrong thing. And to Andrew Jones and his family, I'm sorry that you all had to deal with such asinine, school administration who, when it was convenient for them, they didn't want to enforce school policy, but, when it was no longer convenient for them or when Andrew's talents could no longer serve the school, then they want to be all, by the book. To that, I apologize. Andrew, if you happen to hear this, hold your head up. You are a hell of a rock star in more ways than one. You not only managed to excel in sports, but you managed to excel in academics, and you supported a child throughout the process, and you got a scholarship. I know plenty of grown people who can't say the same. So I salute you, brother, and keep going. Do not let this stand in the way of your greatness. And I really hope you pursue this in terms of a lawsuit or some legal action, because schools need to be taught a lesson and these administrators need to be taught a lesson. School is not about nitpicking, our differences. School is about learning to embrace people's differences. And it's about education. So, once again, my name is Renee. Thank y'all for listening. And until next time, y'all have a good one.